Good morning, guys. Welcome to FYI for your information. I am Joretta Finance joining you this wonderful morning, guys. It is Thursday, the 11th of August, 2022. We are going down the road pretty fast. We are almost at the end of the week. So much to discuss. Oh, my goodness. I want to talk so many things this morning. I'm going to try to seal my lips on certain words and so forth, but it's going to come. It's going to come in some different form. How are you doing, John Jones, and everyone else is joining us so early this morning? Beatrice Selby. Beatrice, how lovely of you to join us in the rain. Beatrice is saying it's raining over there. I guess she's on her way to work. Given the time, Beatrice is always on her way to work at this particular time. I see Mr. John Jones is saying the same. It's raining here in New Jersey. I'm seeing you guys there. Good morning to you. And how are you this morning, sir? I'm seeing John Jones saying good morning to all Guyanese watching around the world and the entire FYI family. We would have it no other but the FYI family, the most important morning family out here right now on social media. It is what it is. Haters gonna hate, but it is what it is. Hopefully we bring all the haters into the family. But good morning to each and every one of you. Make sure that you do your part very early. Share the live stream. Make sure that everyone gets credible information access. Once people have the access, they will carry. I think Sharon usually said you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. Let's make sure that we do our part to take them to the water, bring them to the credible information. Good morning to you, Tommy Gibbs. How are you this morning? And is it Felix? Hey Felix, what's going on at your end? Let me know in the comment section. How is the weather at your end? Raining in Queens, raining in Jersey. Wow, a lot of rain out there. Was no rain here right now. I don't know if any other parts of Guyana is raining, but as far as I'm checking, I haven't heard about the rain on the west coast in Berbice or in Georgetown. I'm not hearing about that. So maybe you guys are taking up all the rain. Hey, Natasha Congrees, good morning to you, Natasha. Natasha is saying good afternoon. I'm not sure when Natasha joining us from this morning, but good morning to you, Azim Ali. How are you this morning? I hope you're having a good morning. I see Margaret Morris says good morning to you, beautiful. Oh, well, thank you so much. My goodness. Rashford, those googly eyes don't miss me. Good morning. How are you doing out there? I'm seeing so many of you already joining. Come on, do your part. Share. I see Dolly is saying good morning from Ithaca. Wonderful of you to join us this morning from Ithaca. And all the folks that's joining us from region number 9, let me know what's going on. You're joining on data, you're joining on Wi-Fi. Let me know if the preview representatives starting off the Wi-Fi there in region 9 so you can view these programs. Hey, good morning to you, Alec. Boom. Let me know what's going on at your end also. And Rowena Cummings, good morning to you. I see, is it Corinne Bernard? Hey, Corinne, good morning. I hope all is well at your end also. Guys, like I said, we have a packed program. We have a packed panel. It's going to be quite an interesting discussion today. So you would want to share. You would want to make yourself comfortable. You want to grab that cup of coffee or whatever it is you're having this morning. If you're having some tea without sugar, whatever it is, you grab it and you come and sit down. Let us chit chat. Let me know what are your feelings towards so many issues there in the comment section. I see Janet Bascom is joining us this morning. Good morning to you, Janet. What's going on at your end? And of course, we have clear my throat for this one. Edward Gonzalez joining us from the Bronx, folks. If you don't know Edward, you're not FYI family. I'm telling you this. If you don't know Edward, you have been missing out on everything. Good morning to you, Candace Ryan. How are you doing this morning? Hope all is well at your end. And Dolly Anderson says home on holidays from New York. Welcome home, Dolly. I'm going to let Sharon know what's up. Dolly is home in the house, making sure that she let us know that she is about around the corner, right? So Dolly, we got to catch up before you leave to go back home. Sean Carter, good morning to you. Sean, sunny London in the house. Good morning. And Dawn and John saying good morning to you, Dawn. What is going on at your end? Warren Figueroa joining us this morning. Warren joins us all the way from Long Island. Warren, is it raining in Long Island? It seems to be raining all over there in the city. So let me know what's going on at your end. Margaret Nelson. I see Persis Wilson. Good morning. Raining there also, Persis. I see you. Joy Hopkinson says good morning. Good morning to you. Joy Facebook user says good morning, beautiful. I love these folks. Good morning to good morning to you, Lorraine Harman. Good morning to you. Warren says it's pouring. I don't know what's going on over there, but I think there was some bit of a tropical storm, something of that nature. Yesterday afternoon, going into to last night. I'm not sure. Let me know if I'm correct on that. And hey, Chisel Chippers, how are you doing this morning? I see you. Don Cook says sunny at my end. Yeah, everyone, it's sunny here in Guyana. I don't know any part of Guyana that's raining. If you're joining us from any part of Guyana that's raining, just let me know in the comment section there. Yes, John Jones. I see that Guyana is sunny and bright. That's how we like to keep it in the morning. I don't want too much sun, like guys. I don't like too much sun. I like the rain. I don't like to be too hot. That's a problem with me. Hey, Alana Tang, joining us all the way from Region 1. For folks that don't know, Alana Tang is there joining us from PK, Port Kaituma. How lovely of you to join us this morning. And I see Janet Bascom. Janet joins us from London. So good morning. Kamal Passad in the house, Vice Chairman of Region Number 7 says good morning. Jaretta sending best wishes for a lovely day. Hope it will be a blackout-free day in the city. Well, Kamal, after the $4 billion that GPL received, they decided to reward us with some fairy light celebration the next day. So that's as far as we had it. So I don't know if the celebration is still going to be on, but let's see how that goes. Candy, I see Candy is joining us this morning. Candy, I don't know if you ever sent in that picture for Cher to verify the name, but I'm hoping that you did. Warren says rain is welcome. We are in the midst of a water emergency. Can't wet your lawn. Well, I didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know there, Warren. You can't wet your lawn. That's some serious issues over there, man. Hey, I see. Candy said, heat and heat is fire. You're already hot, Jaretta, so don't expect you to like the sun. Well, I'm glad that my co-host is not on as yet, because he don't really see these comments, So Roseman, good morning to you, Roseman. How are you doing? And Paul Archer says it's sunny here in southern Ontario. So it's good to know that some folks are having the nice sunny bright morning. But as Warren is saying, the rain is welcome there in Long Island, where he's joining from, because they have some water issues that they can't wet the lawn. So God is sending the rain to wet the lawn there for you, Warren. Hey, Yolanda Bob Semple, good morning to you. How are you doing this morning? Let me know what is going on at your end. Let me know if there's any difficulties you're facing there that you want us to highlight. Always just drop that comment in, so we will be able to address your issue. Brenda Brathwaite, good morning to you. Brenda, Warren saying drought. Yeah, well, Warren, I understand what is going on there. So good for the folks that have those water issues there, and that the rain is now down and pouring. So I know that seems to be an appreciation this morning. Claudette Bovel Willis, good morning to you, my dear. How are you doing this morning? I hope all is well at your end. Magnell Barrow said, raining in the beautiful city of Brooklyn. Yes, I'm hearing that. So I'm hoping you guys enjoy the rain for me and you. Usually I love it on a Saturday or a Sunday morning if I wake up to rain. Those are the days. I will not get out of my bed. I'm not kidding you. I see Candy Nalini Inderjit says, Dreta Markey sending you a very special and blessed good morning. I don't know Markey, but I'm telling you, thank you, Markey, for that very special and blessed good morning, and I'm sending it right back to you. Good. And I see Warren, I'm missing that massive 777-300 comment to Chetty Jagan Airport. That is correct. That is correct, dear Warren. I see Chris Kippens also joining us this morning. Hey, Chris, what is going on at your end? Let me know in the comment section. It has been quite a week thus far. The information that we've been packing on. Guys, you have been so receptive to the information. You have been doing your part. You've been having a conversation. The message is getting out. We are part of a wider cause. This process, FYI, the morning program, the midday program, the evening program. These programs are part of a very larger picture to make sure that everyone is informed. We are aiming to make sure that the population is informed with the credible information so that they can make informed decisions. It is very, very important to us. We are 2 years into everything that is going on with the PPP administration. We have to make sure that we do everything to have the information in the hands, in the palm of your hands. And I think we're doing a good job, but we have to step it up. I'm telling you, time is of the essence. So we have to step it up to make sure that you share. Make sure that you invite persons to join the morning program because it is absolutely necessary that we do that. Guys, you have a very special person coming on this morning very, very soon. Don't worry. 2 seconds more, you're gonna have a full house. Hey Marlon Seaford, I'm saying good. Marlon saying good morning, everyone. So and June Cameron, well, June, I hear you guys. I hear what's going on there in Brooklyn. I'm hearing you guys. Is it Gloria Fraser says good morning to the FYI family. Guys, let me know in the comment section how many of you have shared the stream. Let me know how many of you have shared the stream. Don't be shy. Come on in the comment section and say shared. Naomi Draka, good morning to you, Naomi. Have you shared the stream as yet? Make sure that you do if you have not as yet. Candace Narayan is saying, when is the next rally? Soon, Candace. Soon. When we set the date for the next rally, you're going to be the first to know. We're going to make sure that we send that notification out to Candace first of all. Hey Lambert, how are you doing? Lovely of you to join us this morning. And I see Clear Alexis Richmond is also joining us here this morning. I am so happy to have you with us. And Osman Edwards also joining us this morning. Says good morning, family. How much do you think this family have grown? What is the reach of the extended family altogether? These are very pertinent information. We have to make sure that we share. Let me know in the comment section where you're joining from. I'm hoping I'm going to see a new area, a new village, a new community just popping up there to say that one that I've absolutely never seen before. Alana Tang is in the comment section saying she has shared already. Persis shared already. Viber Johnson says good morning from Boston, Massachusetts. Good morning to you, sir. Edward Brooms is in the house this morning, joining, watching, making sure that he is a part of the information shared as well. I see, is it Marlon Salarma says shared. Rowena comments shared. Come on, guys, you got to catch up. So many of you there, make sure that you do your part and share. Share to groups, share to whatever platform, share on your WhatsApp. Make sure that you do everything that you need to get done this morning. And it is a lovely, lovely sunny morning here. I'm telling you, I'm hearing about all the rain there in NY and I'm hearing about all the rain there in New York, in New Jersey. I'm hearing Long Island specifically saying that they have water issues there, so they're welcoming the rains, guys. But on this end, you see what's going on your screen. We're having a bright, sunny morning.
They had a heat wave, I think 2 days ago.
Well, that's what Warren is telling me. Yep, that's what Warren is telling me. I see Madhya in the house this morning. Hey Albert Madhya. Daniels joining us all the way from Madhya. Absolutely great to have you with us this morning. How are you doing there? What's going on in Madhya? Let me know. I know that I hope make sure that you check in with what's going on at the level of the council, the town council in Madhya. I heard that the minister usually make it her duty to go into Madhya at the level of the town council, and she want to run the show. So we have a lot to say about that. That is not something that we endorse. Good morning, Amanza Walton Desert. I see a lot of there say Director passed 2 matches, reach and cut off the light.
Yes.
Like the 4 billion didn't reach there as yet. Oh, come on, guys. What is going on?
Oh my God, so much going on. They might need a 2-hour show at this rate.
2 hours, girl. My goodness. Well, I'm not going to be playing with the information sharing this morning. I'm going to be packing it in. Some people may be getting upset with me at the end of this program. But I see some people representing a specific section and not representing who they're placed to represent. I have issues.
So much going on in the newspapers. I started going through it and I was like, Lord,
Mhm.
we got a lot going on,
Oh,
Jesus.
definitely, definitely.
Mm, mm, mm,
We
mm.
have to continue, we have to continue to bring the information. If it's one thing we do every single day, is
Absolutely.
bring the information, guys, and we're going to continue to bring you the information. It's absolutely necessary that you get the credible
Valid and credible
information.
information. Mm-hmm.
Yep, yep, yep. What is going on? I'm seeing, is it Marvis? I haven't seen Marvis in the comment section yesterday. I didn't know if I missed you, but if I did, I'm sorry. Well, special good morning to you, strong, beautiful, and peace. Oh,
Thank you,
Candace on the
Candace.
roll this morning, a man. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the compliments just coming through. Don't
yeah.
worry.
We thank
Yes,
God.
yes, yes. However,
We thank
however it
God.
come, we check it how we
Yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
it. Oh my goodness. And we want to get in straight into the morning papers before if we can get into the morning papers early. I'm just pulling my notes up, guys. Oh my goodness. The morning papers is we have
It's a lot, isn't it?
less. When you have less than a million people, I keep saying this, it's not good for us to have to come and report crime. Crime, the crime wave. I know it's been covered a whole lot. There's nothing that's happening with regards to crime, and that we do not bring the information forward. This is something that we definitely need to have a better system in place to deal with it. And I'm seeing one of the most glaring headline this morning. It's in friends riddled with bullets at Melanie East Coast Demerara critical. How do you get to that point? Like, how do you, like, where are we as a country? We have to be.
It's just look, and unfortunately, it will get worse.
Mhm.
You know, you did psychology in university, and so Andretta, you know the correlation between crime and poverty. You
Mhm.
know that when the cost of living increases
Mhm.
and becomes unbearable, crime
Yeah.
rises. So it will just get worse, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, but and this is why it's important to have a professional police force.
Yeah.
When you read in the news about police force being compromised, it doesn't help these types of situations.
Yeah.
But we're thinking about
Mhm.
the
And there are so many. There are so many cases in which law enforcement officers have been identified
yeah,
and fingered
yeah,
in so
yeah,
many of these
yeah,
cases, and that's
yeah.
that's the real problem. We are living in a country that is so corrupt that, and we talk about corruptions, we narrow it down to specific things, but when you are to look at it at the broader picture, you realize the entire country is corrupt. And you would realize that since the PP administration took office, every single avenue for persons to do corrupt things have been explored.
I mean, the fisherman said it. If you're not corrupt, you can't do business with the
Yeah,
government.
and that's a sad reality. But the injured men have been identified as 27-year-old Ryan Joseph and 29-year-old is it Bimal Veersamy. And according to the police, they were reportedly shot around 20-30 hours by men in a silver gray Nissan Bluebird motor car. But these are very, very serious issues. Like, when you think about this, you want to just from work, you just go home and lock your door and don't step back
But there was
out.
a time in our country when it was like that, if you
Yes,
remember.
yes, I
And
do.
it feels as if we're heading right back to
Mm,
those pre-2015 days. And if you look at the ages of those young men,
yeah.
they're the most productive
Hmm.
years. And you notice as well that there's not a particular demographic involved.
Very
So
true.
it really does show you that all are involved and all are consumed.
Yeah.
And as a country, we just got to get it right because everybody, particularly the poor
Mm,
and working class, are the ones that are going to be affected.
yeah.
So I wish them a speedy recovery.
Yeah, and we have to get past. I mean, how do I say this? Sometimes the reality that a lot of us grew up in is not the reality that other Guyanese live and grew up with
Absolutely.
in their homes, in the communities and so forth. and there's a different system, and these are things that needs to be, these are discussions that needs to be had.
Right.
There is a part of our country that is different, the different type of a different walk of life altogether,
Yeah.
things that many persons have never been exposed to. But I have to say, you have to make there must be systems in place for us to fix,
Yeah.
attempt to
Yeah.
fix, to
Yeah.
intervene at the very least, to bring about change. Come on, 27, 29. Come on, young men. Come
Young
on,
men, young men,
young men,
young men. That in an oil producing republic
Mm.
ought to be productive, ought to be
Mm-hmm.
able to find
Mm-hmm.
good technical and vocational jobs,
Mm-hmm.
etc. Jaretta, I woke up this morning and my heart was so heavy because I'm saying we are so far behind the eight ball on development.
Mm.
And there is just so much coming down the pipe in terms of economics and the global economy that we are not ready for.
Yeah.
And my worry is that it is only the poor and the working class that will
Mm.
feel the brunt of it.
Yeah.
Because, the
Mm.
elites and the oligarchs will be fine. They have enough
Well, the
to
system is
weather
set
it.
up so that they alone benefit. So
I
that's the
saw
fact,
that. You remember that somebody was sharing around a cartoon where people were kneeling.
So it
And
was like the table. It was like
yes,
a
and
table.
their backs
The
were the table.
no, and no, I think they were holding up the table on their backs.
Yes,
And they said, that it's all going to be over if the people just stand
if the
up.
people just stand
If they
up.
just
And I
stand
thought
up.
that was such a telling,
Hmm.
telling cartoon.
Yeah, there's strength in your voice. There's strength in there's even
Mm,
more strength in numbers to stand together. And that's why I've been saying, we have to move forward and we need to move past this. How someone look, you determine the value of your comment
yes,
is determined by
by
the
how you,
other
yes,
side
yes, yes,
based on how you
yes,
look, and we have
yes.
to move forward, we have to move past that. And if people understand when it comes to classism, and that's why I've been saying it so many times, if people understand in class, there's no color when it comes to that, you being in that class and the punishment
Absolutely,
that you face in that class. And
absolutely.
if people start to realize that, they would realize the strength that they are the strength that they are yet to harness
Right.
from just standing together just once. They just need to listen. Oh, what a day that will be in our
Oh my
country.
God. And I
If,
think we will see it,
you know,
Jordan. I believe that we are going to see it because I think the road that the PPP is headed now, people realize it is just untenable.
yeah.
It simply will not work. And so.
Yeah, very different. The persons living very different lives. Very different economic activities sustaining them. Different parts of the country. Different upbringing altogether. But they are right there in the same class with the same difficulties because resources are not being channeled to them.
To them.
They are
Mhm.
not getting equitable access to resources
There
to
you
make sure
go.
that they
There you
elevate their
go.
little small business and those things. And
Absolutely.
once those people, right, all of them, all the ethnicities, all the gender, from where all the different cultures, once they realize that just one time they need to
Yeah.
unite their voices.
That our suffering is common
Oh goodness.
and that you are not suffering less than I am.
Mm-hmm.
But the PPP is strategic in what it does, in that they know how to bring people to the brink and then they throw
Mm-hmm.
a trinket in,
Mm-hmm.
or they throw a cash grant, or they throw a hamper.
Mm-hmm.
And that is enough,
Mm-hmm.
apparently, to calm people down for a little bit, and then it begins to build again, and they throw a
Mm-hmm.
handout again. It's a very and if you study the Cold War and Nazi Germany,
Mm-hmm.
you'd see the same type of strategies being
Yeah. It's torture.
implemented, albeit not as stark, but if you're a student of history, you'll see the trends in how they
Yeah.
in how
But
the
it's
government.
torture, it's torture. It's torture
Pure and
for somebody
simple.
to just simply keep you alive.
Hmm.
It's torture.
Right, right.
Right?
The bare minimum.
The bare minimum to
Bare
just keep
minimum to
keep you
keep you
alive,
alive.
to punish you for it though. Is there a worse type of torture? I don't think there's any
I'm not
worse kind of
sure.
torture. That's
I'm not
what it is.
sure
It's
that
it's
there
pure
is.
torture. right? You're gonna have things being done without environmental impact assessment. It's affecting person's livelihood. People are going out there, the fishermen who in grounded
Well,
half a mile out
off
from
Maria.
Marriott. They're putting down their fishing bins and and pulling up on its mud and all of
Mud.
that.
Yeah.
It's pure torture. And then you're gonna go to them when you believe that they have starved enough, they're at the brink of just giving up altogether. You're gonna go to them and chuck a little cash grant in the hand and say, we care about you.
But
It's
but
torture.
but and we have to continue to speak to the people, because what the PPP is doing is that they have the ability to do so much more now.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to keep saying this to everybody that would listen.
Mm-hmm.
They have the ability to
Mm-hmm.
do an increase in salaries. They have the ability to be able to give free university tuition. They have the ability to be able to retrain the sugar
Mm-hmm.
workers for a tech future. But they're not willing to do it.
Why
They're
would?
going to do it closer to the elections. I saw that JHK Lal had a very, very interesting column
Mm-hmm.
on Bar Jagdio's position on this oil contract, which they bellowed was the worst in the history of the world, and that the AP and US government was incompetent to deliver that and all of that. And then a few weeks ago, he's saying, oh, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe we won't renegotiate it. I really want to commend J.H.K. Lal
Mm-hmm.
comment column on that, because it is part of a wider strategy
It
to
is.
dupe the people of Guyana.
But they did say, they're gonna make sugar great again. There's so many things. So every time they go out there and they say that oh, another campaign promise fulfilled. I'm like, well, hold up.
Yeah.
50,000 jobs, hold up.
We meant
50
we meant eventually. We didn't
50%
mean
increase in public servant salary. Yeah, hold up, sugar great again.
we meant
Hold up, renegotiate the oil contract. I mean, let's talk about these things. When people stood on platforms and large, they gather up the persons that were willing to listen to them there, and they stood on the platform, and that's what they told them. What is going on right about now with those things? Nothing, absolutely nothing. What you're gonna hear, they're trying to backpedal. It's not so bad. This contract not so bad when we do read it.
yeah.
Well, sugar, it seems like going nowhere. Y'all need to go and look for jobs in more
Yeah.
in industries with more demand of the current time.
But not putting the monies
Mhm.
behind that. We showed in the 2020 budget debates how you could have taken some of the monies that you allocated for infrastructure
Mhm.
that you will not be able to execute anyway
Capacity.
because of capacity,
Mhm.
the as you say, the global logistics chain and all of that being disrupted. Take that money and reallocate it
Mhm.
to these industries, to helping these sugar workers readjust, to helping free tuition, to helping the pensioners to get a realistic increase. We showed how it could be done. So
Mhm.
it's not a case where we come out, we say, do this, do this, do this. We sit and we actually show you with this amount of money that you have. If you reallocate, you the economist, you understand budgeting and priorities and prioritization.
Mhm.
If people are your priority, as you say, just take 25% of your roads
Mhm. Mhm.
allocation
Because according to
and
them,
put
you
it to
can't eat
people.
through
Because
it.
it was Edgil who said when David Patterson was building roads here, there, and everywhere, not with all money, mind you, but with just prudent
Yes.
economic management and fiscal
Mhm.
management. Oh, you can't eat road.
Yeah, you
And here
can't eat
they
through.
are.
But it seems like
Built
somebody
for
eating out Edge's
it's
road
just
because
being
I'm seeing holes
just being
all over. I'm seeing
it's just
holes
being
all
and then
over in
it's
the road.
but then Sharon says we're not happy with it. The quality of the
We're
road.
not, we're
We're
not.
not happy
But
with it.
Amanda's absolutely correct. What we're talking about. So we have to look at it because a government is not supposed to operate as though it's a business entity
Yeah.
because businesses are profit motivated. And we have the administration operating as such. And what that means is that now they're not people centered anymore because they are more business oriented, and it's not debate between business and transaction and all that nonsense. But we're saying that they are not people centered now because now they're more profit incentivized. That's how
they were
operate,
ever people centered,
right? They're not following through with that. Government is supposed to allocate resources, especially when it comes to all of this stood up, and this is something that we need to pay keen attention to. Their ministers are saying, "Oh, it's the worst time ever. The worst time ever when it comes to the economic stance and so forth." And they're trying to say that because it's a global issue, but they are acknowledging the difficulty of the time, and yet they are not willing to allocate resources that would cushion the most vulnerable in society. They're not putting any system in place that is structured to make sure that the actual persons that need these resources are guaranteed to receive the resource. And these are the problems that we're having. That's when the man spoke. Precisely. And he said he see a name of bus driver and taxi driver collect money for that is supposed to be relief for the fishermen, the people that actually need the relief.
Absolutely right. Because look, the sole reason that government exists is to take care of the social and the welfare needs of their people.
My
the
goodness.
Economic welfare of their people and the social welfare of their people.
Well, we have dissected.
They exist. They're not a profit-making entity. That's the That's for the private sector. Their concern has to be the welfare of people.
Yep.
And this government, they just clearly show that they don't care.
And as we speak about that and Edgel and everything, Linden yesterday, Lindeners weren't having it.
Yeah.
Lindeners said,
We generally don't have
it.
Linden said, don't some foods badly.
Linden said, we do it different, And Linden, frustrated Lindeners blocked the bridge and protest against unfinished road projects. I don't know if Edgel knew about this.
Well, he probably would have interrupt social cohesion.
Oh, he probably thought he would have interrupted social cohesion. So the road that you budgeted for, you don't finish, but you come for $3 billion more to do miscellaneous roads now.
Joretta, I am interested in seeing what is their level of implementation of the PSIP.
Wow.
That they had $280-something billion for.
Them boys said they're going good.
How much money have they?
Man, so them boys said they're going good. They said they're going good. Everything nice.
Well, I suspect the money is going to be spent on patching roads like the Thomas Lands Road. So you do it and then you do it over again, and that is how you spend the money. We in some trouble. But kudos to the Lindeners. This is what happens when you stand up for your rights.
Correct is right. Correct is right. Morning, folks. Happy to be here with the team. Happy to be the thorn among the roses. Yeah. That's happening. From row. Right here, Trita.
And now to my to the part that I'm more concerned with, it says over 10,000 yet to collect the Because We Care cash grant. Over 10,000.
That seems strange to me in this hard economic times.
Why though?
Yeah.
Are they following that uncleansed voters list? Maybe is that following? Dead people and so on.
I don't know what's going on.
10,000 persons.
We were talking, and those are the ones that are eligible. But it still does not address the relief for the students that just left school and those young toddlers who have not yet gone into the school system.
Yeah.
It really shows.
They sure they got the right list? 10,000 persons in pickup 30,000.
Did they say why? Just administrative? Just.
Listen, you don't get to come and say over 10,000 people didn't collect the cash grants as yet. When you put measures in place as the minister, the ministry, to make sure that there were people that could not collect the money.
There you have it.
You don't get to come and say that over 10,000 people didn't collect it now. All right, because it's going to go. And I told people before, I know all of the back and forth, listen, I could take the cussing because I can cuss back. Because I'm going to say at the end of it that I told you so. I told you it's going to happen. I told you that the persons that need it the most are the ones that are going to be disenfranchised when you put in measures that you did. And I did share a situation. I didn't make this up. I did share a situation in which a woman complained and she was crying. You know, she was at her last, but basically trying to get her story or trying to get someone to say, well, you know, we're going to flex and bend this rule a little bit, accommodate you, because she's saying that she misplaced the textbooks that they had to return in order for her to get the money. She misplaced the textbook. Why did she misplace the textbook? Because she got evicted from where she was living and she didn't get a place to move her things in time. So the landlord threw her things out on the streets. And in all of the chaos, she misplaced the textbook. Most vulnerable, cannot collect, will be listed there. So you don't have to come and say over 10,000 people didn't click the cash grant. When you put mechanisms in place to ensure that the most vulnerable don't collect the money, even after it was allocated for everyone in National Assembly. So
So there's that happening too. And also now in other news, bars are now required to verify age of patrons who are serving alcohol. So you're going to produce your ID now when you're going.
I have a problem with that. I don't know how else to say it, because my first thing is, first of all, I think this is great. Let me tell you.
As initiative,
I think this is great, but I didn't see, and this is always my problem. You know, it's all good and nice to have to come out and say this is what we're going to do. You know, we're putting this in place, but then have you allocated any additional resource in terms of personnel to make sure that it is implemented? What is the implementation
sensitization
and structure that is set up? Who is going to actually go to the bar? Now you have the
monitoring.
Was that going to be? The system is being monitored. And for me, on the age, people should not even be in a bar. We should not even be given access. More so to have access to the alcohol. Why are they even allowed to go into the bar? If you're on the edge, you should not be going into a bar.
There should be an admission.
So that's my issue.
An admission policy even. You know, but I think these are good policies, but they have to be backed up by proper implementation.
Yeah, I think they should have started by saying don't let them go into the bar. That on the age children will not be allowed in bars.
In bars.
That's what I wanted to see. That's my big issue.
So there's that. But the monitoring is going to be quite interesting. How they're going to go about doing that. As we get more information as folks, we're going to share that with you. But in other news that we're covering in the morning papers, about 3 kg of ganja was found in the Mazroni prison, stashed in the Mazroni prison. Somebody let in the ganja pass. You know,
3 kg. That's not.
Yeah, Mazroni prison.
3 ounces.
Mazroni prison is farmers, and I'm people's farmers.
Yeah, they're farmers.
I'm just kidding.
You get the head start on the hemp and so on.
The Mazroni prison do have a lot of persons that farms is the system for everything. That this actually came from Borno, and actually making sure that the prisoners have something to do, and they actually go out and they farm and they take the produce and they would sell it to the nearby communities, and the money would actually be put there for them. So when they are released, they have something to collect. But when it comes to having drugs,
that's different.
The prison, right? I don't know. Well, let me start by saying this. It was Kemraj Ramjatan that spoke a lot about making sure that facilities are built, updated, upgraded facilities are built when it comes to accommodating prisoners and so forth.
Was there upset?
There was a lot of pushback when it comes to that. People don't understand, but now the prisoner's got cell phone, the prisoner's got knife, the prisoners is just sending for credit.
Sending for credit. It's a whole thing.
Scamming for credit.
It's a thing.
If you send 5,000 to this number,
there's that too.
There's a lot happening.
Right? Prisoners having drugs, prisoners, it's a whole different system out there. So, you are left with what you're left with. People get what they bargain for.
Correct is right. And while that's happening on that front, I know you guys are frequent travelers. British Airways, they're coming in 2023. We can book your tickets now, ladies. No, you got it like that. Other folks who've been suspended from National Assembly, not so much. So
you give people the impression that National Assembly was give you a stipend. I could afford the tickets.
British, well, it's 1 or 2 months parliamentary salary. You know, British Airways.
for one ticket, right?
Yeah,
There
yeah,
you go.
yeah,
There
yeah.
you go.
But I hope they stay because they were here before.
They were.
And we don't do well with airlines at
Mm.
all. It's like people and governance. We don't. The two things don't go together. Again,
Well,
airlines.
yeah, I mean,
We
look,
don't do too well with airlines.
we in terms of maybe a national airline,
Mm,
it's always very difficult to manage. It's not very easy.
mm,
But certainly with all of the um, commercial activity, Guyana will
mm.
become far more attractive. And it's always
Yeah,
good. The more
Mm.
airlines you have,
yeah,
the more competition, the
yeah,
cheaper prices ought to be.
yeah. But I'm happy for them.
And the better the service.
I'm happy
Yeah.
for them. But
You know,
I
more
promise that
competition,
I'm
better
not.
service.
I leave my first love, Caribbean.
Mhm.
I had some issues with another one. I shudder when I think about it. My son was celebrating his 13th birthday in the States.
Looking hard, Sheriff.
And my aunt said I was going to leave on the 12th. My aunt
Mhm.
said, I know these people here, these juggalos, this earlier, right?
Don't left then.
Come earlier. Even coming earlier, I booked 2 days to the 12th,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
I got to the US. He's celebrating his birthday the 5th day of August. I got there about the 12th, 13th.
That was your delay.
Wow.
I got about the
But
12th to the
imagine
13th.
if you
Yeah.
were if you were
Yeah.
a foreigner in this country and
Yeah.
that was your pathway.
They were foreigners here. They were,
And you
and
had
then
to
I
go to
had
work.
connecting flights too.
Mhm.
And then you couldn't change your connecting flights until you got on the ground
Mhm.
in the US. So imagine going to somebody, the accountant, saying, I was supposed to travel 1 week ago. Here, here, though. See what you can do for me now. See what you can do for me now. See what you can do for me. There were folks who got to the airport when I got there. And mind you, we weren't even called. You got to the airport and check in and realize nobody's checking in, right? And then you're looking to see where the folks who represent this airline. Somebody say, oh, you see the boy sweeping down there? Contact
Yeah.
this person. You know? And then you had some folks who were working here or doing some kind of charity work. I met a couple of folks like that who got there with me. They were stuck. Can you imagine if you sitting at a hotel, you run your last day, you don't got a little thing in the pocket and so on. Then you travel to the airport and here. It's
The
bad.
requirements are that they compensate you
It's
for
bad.
your stay, and they
Yeah, they're
provide
supposed to
So-
provide
vouchers.
accommodation.
So
and
after
very
after you live at the
States.
bridge for a week, so I made a vow that day. So,
Mhm.
I going back home. Sorry for cheating, Caribbean. I live with you.
Good old reliable
You
Caribbean.
like cheap tickets, no? Yeah. Walk funny. So while that's happening on that front, and we say welcome to British Airways, the leader of the opposition, he says, look as though these people have got no intention of having local government election. From all the signs of it,
The history.
Yeah.
If you're
yeah,
a student of
there's
history.
no excitement. Especially, you all were talking about the economy and so on, and where it's going and so on. Them boys in no rush.
You think
You know,
that boys,
yeah,
you think
yeah.
they're not seeing
Yeah.
the fishermen speaking out there? You think
Yeah,
they're
that
not
ballot
seeing
gonna
the
be like a
farmers?
questionnaire. Are we? Is the economy doing well? X. Whatever your case may be.
There you go.
Is the economy doing well?
There you
Them
go.
boys, aren't going down the line at all.
I'm not
You know.
sure. I mean, the voters list is a mess.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah,
The voters list is a mess, and I was so surprised to hear Irfan Ali said that the list is not the problem.
Mhm.
yeah.
I mean, I think we probably have to do an entire show on this voters list issue. In 2015, when they lost the elections, the PPP was at the top of their lungs saying that we have to have
Yeah.
a new list,
Mhm.
we have to have voter registration, house registration, we have to even have biometric
Mhm.
You sure it wasn't
systems at
Photoshop?
the
You sure?
poll. I'm
Sure
sure
it's
it wasn't Photoshop.
Oh.
And now to hear Irfan Ali say the list is not the problem.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I wonder if the circumstances are beginning to be clear to people.
Yeah, because they were, as you guys were articulating, they were at the top of their lungs. A lot of other things, renegotiating the Exxon Mobil contract,
Yes.
50% raise for public
Yes.
servants.
Yes.
Even I saw Frank talking recently about nurses and doctors leaving and them reformatting the nursing program to keep them. I think it's not a Frank. I can bet
It's
you.
not.
It's not about
It's not
that.
a
Right?
question of
Yeah.
formatting
Yeah.
the program.
Yeah.
You're training people to
Yeah.
leave, and you operate as if bonding them for a few years. Well, all they do is look forward to
Yeah.
the day that ends to get out.
Yeah.
The secret has to be, or the approach has to be, to pay people better, to incentivize nurses.
That's not
etc.,
occurred to
with
them.
house lots,
That's not
with
occurred to them.
you know.
No.
Mhm.
Mistreating and ill-treating people can solve the
no,
problem.
Yeah.
we're in a bind. We're in a
There
bind.
must be special systems put in place when it comes to that.
Yeah, you're
The
essential
house,
workers.
you're talking about housing programs and so forth. All the money that we're here, the billions of dollars going to that particular sector. And I have to say that when it comes to the persons that are most in need, those are the persons that you see the least focus being given to. And for example, yes, we know we have the public servants. You have so many persons, so many categories. But basically, the most vulnerable people in society are the ones that never gets the full benefit
Yeah.
of it. And I'm saddened to say it. And then the fact is the fact that you're learning that businessmen are being called up to purchase um 8, 9, 10 of these homes and so forth. Now they're gonna go and take it and make it into investment property. So the poor people now gotta go and rent from them instead of it going how it has to be done. So we have big issues to
But
talk
and
about.
it's all geared towards, as you said, as we continually say, enriching a certain set of people. And it has to be clear, we're not against people becoming rich. What we are against is a system that only facilitates people becoming rich and neglecting the poor and working
Yeah,
class.
yeah.
If you become rich by the power of your endeavors and your astuteness and whatever, who can have a problem?
Legal endeavors.
But my thing is,
Legal endeavors.
And not the way in which I put it over, because mine is going speaking very correctly to what is it. We're not against people getting rich. My issue is I'm against you having a problem with everybody getting rich.
Yeah.
That's why I have a problem
Yeah.
with
The rising
Yeah.
tide must float all the
Rising tide
boats.
must float
All the boats.
and everybody
Yeah.
would never get
Yeah.
the same amount of resources.
Yeah.
But oh
Right,
God, leave
right.
people
Yeah.
with
But
leverage
if
to
people
use their
fail,
intellect
if
to
people
get something.
fail, it must be because of lack of effort on their part.
Correct.
Not because the system is so set against you
Mhm.
that you don't even stand a chance coming out the gate. You know?
The system is rigged against you, right? And talking about rich folks, some other stuff that are brewing internationally. Some other stuff talking about rich. Y'all know this fella, reported to be a billionaire. It's in doubt. It has an asterisk over that. That B there has an asterisk, right? But Donald Trump, recently the feds, the FBI, raided his property, Mar-a-Lago in Florida. Well, he's now refused to answer some questions from the New York Attorney General, who is doing a parallel investigation. So that's happening, and it seems quite strange. It seems like a fellow locally, you,
Songs from
yeah, want a lot of nonsense, but you don't want to answer questions. You want to hide under immunity. But it's interesting to see how the American system works. Interesting.
Because when it comes to the administration of justice, there's certain lines that you can't cross.
Yeah.
So if you're compromising national security, etc., all of them issues of immunity and all of that, it goes out of the door. But Donald Trump is a very interesting character. I was reading the other day where his ex-wife Ivana Trump, that died, that she was actually buried on one of the golf courses or on the property. And they were saying that if you convert or if there's a family member buried on the property, the government will not be able to seize it. It's something with New Jersey law. I'm reading up around it because I'm interested in seeing where it's going, but it's very, very, very interesting.
Yeah, interesting fellow to say the least. Other things that are happening internationally that we're looking at, Sierra Leone is one of those hot spots globally that needs some intervention. And again, they have now imposed a nationwide curfew. They've been deadly anti-government protests. And of course, I shouldn't say of course, this stems again of a lot of what we're seeing internationally, rising costs, governments not putting adequate measures in place. And we were right there at that point. We could tip at any moment because people are hurting in this country. And you're seeing so much opulence, very soon they can start publishing when they get any new oil wells that are discovered. They can start publishing soon because you're seeing the country come into all of this wealth. You're seeing all of these billions being spent on shore base and low base and high base, but that's now coming to you. Like you all said, you're feeling this money. And that's what's happening in
In
Sierra
Sierra
Leone,
Leone.
and people are not taking too
And
kindly
one
to
of the
at all.
wealthiest
Yeah,
places in the earth in terms of natural
yeah,
resources,
quite like
and
us.
yeah, quite like us. And it makes me, I say to us, I mean, are we not learning from
Yeah,
these lessons? Like,
yeah,
we got to go to
yeah,
school and get the
yeah,
licks for ourselves before we look and see how this issue besieges countries in Africa that are resource rich. But we seem to be heading straight down
yeah,
that line. And I'm sure
yeah,
we'll talk about what Winston
yeah,
Jordan said in
yeah,
terms of the Dutch
yeah,
disease and all of
yeah.
that.
That's what we touched on yesterday morning, as a matter of fact, that
Yep.
he called it. You know, this is where we are. Dutch disease, right at our doorstep. Right, with them
But you know,
guys.
a lot of people don't even know what the Dutch disease
Yeah.
is.
Yep.
And so I think there's a role for educating people who want to be educated, because there's some people, you bring the facts to them and they,
Yeah, they won't see it.
they don't
They
want to
won't,
see
they
it.
Yeah,
won't see
that's
it.
what we do. We do here
Yeah.
every single morning, because we make sure that the FYI family is well informed and ready to go out there and educate persons.
Yeah.
Plausible
And-
deniability.
and-
Them boys don't want to
And
play
this is
stupid.
why, we continue to speak. People say, oh, like, why y'all always talking? Because there's a place for education and informed citizens make informed
Correct.
decisions.
Correct.
So we have
Correct.
to bring information
Correct.
to people.
Correct. And what else we following, folks? This is what's happening in Tunisia. Look, the whole world has gone mad. They got some madman there as a president. He just sacked in June, I think 71 judges, and he was about to sack a lot of other judges, and the court stepped in and say, "This is madness here. You know, this is madness.
Can you imagine?
You know, that's how them boys here will operate. You know, they got the same proclivities. It's just that they can't do it constitutionally. And what they can do constitutionally is delayed. That's why they're appointing those two eminently qualified young women
Right.
as
They're
Chief
women.
Justice and Chancellor of the Judiciary. Because they want to do the same thing. They want to, once they believe that they don't know how you think and how you will move, right? It's programmed. They want program people in this country, It's programmed. They want to program
But
people.
they do it in a very sly manner, so that by the time the dictatorship is full blown, you don't even realize. It's like the frog in the water. If you put them in water and you start to turn up the heat slowly, they'll cook to that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
But
the same.
Amanda Jurita reminded me, wasn't it? Tunisia, where the Arab Spring started. They overthrew one dictator. Apparently, they have installed another there in Tunisia. But those are some of the things that are brewing internationally. And I think as we come closer in the region, we see some stuff that we don't often see in the region, and definitely we don't see locally. Trinidad labor leaders unite, different labor parties, because they think about this 4% government offering in these hard economic times,
Can you imagine?
Yep.
But the government here offers public servants 3.5% taxable.
Yeah. Trinidad said, no, don't come around. We funny like that. Right? And the labor unions are together on this issue. Like Yard and what's his name and the others, Duncan and Garwoons are together. My Lord, what a day that would be! What a day of rejoicing that would be when we all
get together.
get together. What a day that would be locally. My.
But no, the people
Tradies know something we know.
They
Yeah.
have made sure that they split the union. And there has to come a time when, and we keep saying it about the power of public servant. You keep the wheels of this country turning. The government should pay you maximum respect.
Yeah.
Because if every public servant was to decide that we're sicking out today, or we're not going to, that is the end of anything happening in government. The economy will come to a screeching halt. And so it begs the question, why is it that as a people, we don't realize that the power lies with the people?
It does.
Trinidad keeps showing
It
up.
does. So the Trinidadians are uniting for a common cause there. And something else we talked about on this show just recently, brewing again in the region. We said that CARICOM got a lot to answer for Haiti. And here's the OAS saying that part of the blame is on the international community for the security crisis in Haiti. Haiti seems not to be getting a break. It's one thing when it's not the political disasters in the country, it's the natural ones affecting. It's an earthquake. It's something don't seem to be getting. But don't seem to get a break. But Haiti is a CARICOM member state. And it's interesting that you don't see a fully frontal approach to kind of bring Haiti back, from this kind of madness that's happening there. OAS saying, well, I two things with the OAS, but they're saying that the international community is part, and I don't blame them necessarily, because that's partly responsible too, right? It's a tool in everybody that everybody wants to use conveniently, Haiti. But CARICOM is a CARICOM member state, and more has to be done for Haiti. Yeah, sadly, but that's the situation there.
Yeah, it pains my heart to see, just the suffering of our Haitian brothers and sisters. And Haiti is such a bastion in terms of freedom.
Yeah.
And they inspired the whole notion of freedom.
Yeah, wasn't that 1804? Tucson?
1804.
Over
Love
11 million
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Over 11
Yeah,
million.
this was started freedom in
That's
this.
what you gotta remember.
That was our Arab
Part
Spring.
of the hemisphere.
That was our
It's
Arab
part of
Spring.
the
Yeah,
hemisphere.
started
I
in
mean,
Haiti.
we owe them so much more than they are having now.
Yeah. That was the indigenous independence right there.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
right there. Started right there.
Can you
Right?
imagine?
Could we celebrate our history?
But it appears as though
Yeah.
There's some elements in the
Right.
world
Well,
bent on not letting them
look,
forget.
Winston Jordan asking an important question. Former minister, isn't OAS part of the same international community? You see that? You see why I didn't put much stock in what they said, because they got own jagabats there
what
too.
are you doing? Is the
Yeah.
question. What are you doing
Yeah.
to address it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't see much objection to when the PPP decided to just reimpose visa restrictions on Haiti. I understand the smaller Caribbean islands because they have an issue of the size of their islands and in terms of their population size relative to their land size. But certainly that is not a concern for Guyana.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Different things is consideration here, but other things we're following, folks, and this is going to surprise you guys. I know, and I kind of kept this one under wraps, but it's been out there for a little bit, so maybe you guys saw it.
Yeah.
Lisa Hanna is retiring from representative politics.
Absolutely phenomenal individual.
Yeah.
And she's made a sterling contribution.
Yeah, she's been at it for 15 years.
15 years.
Miss World 1990 something, 92, or is it 2002? Some years ago. It could have been earlier. Been minister of government, been a parliamentarian for 15 years now, and she said, she's ready to move on to other things.
Yeah.
And part of what she said too is making way for other young people to follow. That's quite interesting. Folks, let me put out there. Then got a time when we got to make the same decision too.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Shakespeare talks about being a player on the stage, and then you start pitch and it's time for you to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
While we were in Lisa Hanna and her departing from representative politics, she was talking on her Facebook page about if to leave politics altogether.
Mhm.
Right? But I think she might have some work left to do, mentoring and lots of the other things.
Yeah.
But as we were talking about the labor unions, it seems as though the labor unions, everybody has a kingdom is dead. You don't retire and so on. And they're just dead. And then somebody says, long live the king is dead, long live the king.
But Lisa
Right?
is
You don't move up the scene.
Lisa Hanna is one of the persons that she speaks very very openly about how she views politics, and one of the things she said very early on is that when you plan your entry into politics, you need to also plan your exit.
Mhm.
Right? And she was that spokesperson because she believes, and I agree with her, you don't come and occupy political seats just to occupy political seats.
Mhm.
Some people, and I say, in Guyana, we need there is a lot of people that need to just step the hell out and allow that space to be utilized by younger
Get sure.
with more
Something in the tea.
with more energy. The times change. As Cher does these days. Times change, and modern day require modern minds to intervene to deal with whatever it is. It's a new platform. We have people in the National Assembly that we have to have. For example, we have Parliament sending a box. Parliament sent me a box, and I kid you not, a box with documents. And I'm like, what's wrong with the song? What's wrong with the soft copy? You know why? Because they got person in the National Assembly who don't know
who don't know to use the computer. Can you imagine?
So you got to suffer with them.
It makes it very. and she makes a very important point. The secret is that you always leave at the top of your game.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
leave
You
at
don't-
the top of
you
your
don't wait
game.
to get pushed out.
You identify that this is
Yeah.
my contribution. I have made my contribution, and I am now therefore happy to exit because I have made my contribution.
Yeah, but that's why I'm
Um,
here. That's why I'm here because when you do the work very early, you don't have any need to say that. Oh well, you know, I need to actually
You
make an
come,
impact.
you
Hold
give
on.
it, you give it
Yeah.
your 100, and you
Yeah.
beat out.
Timing in
with
politics-
time.
timing in
40
politics
years and
is-
you're still important.
is very
Oh, girl,
important,
empowerment.
right?
I was a child in school.
Yeah. I was
Gail
13. I was 13 when
Gail
Gail went
was
to National Assembly.
in the National Assembly.
You know?
How do I come and sit opposite this person?
Yeah.
How is that good? How is it acceptable?
Yeah.
This two term.
Are we better off as a country? You know? Are we better off as a country?
I am going to live. You'll
Yeah.
see. I'll live by what I'm preaching because I do
Yeah.
not. I cannot be that person
Yeah.
to just sit and occupy a
Yeah.
seat and stop other people from
The
coming in.
secret is,
You know,
Is that
I'm
you
that
sit?
person.
and
Is that you
you
see?
know when you study like Buddhism and so on, they reinforce the importance of teaching yourself out of a job. Is a paradigm shift, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it
Stephen
was so
Covey says the
important to
same
me.
thing. Begin with the end in mind.
Begin
That's
with
one
the
of the
end in
7
mind.
principles, I
Yes.
think,
Begin
of highly
with the end
effective
in
leader.
mind.
Begin with the end in
Begin
mind.
with the end in mind.
Yep. And in that, you read it many years ago. It was a book on Churchill.
Mm.
And one of the shortcomings of Churchill's leadership, the writer was pointing out, that Churchill stayed too long.
Yeah.
After, he was a great wartime prime
Yes,
minister.
yes.
But after that period
Yes.
had ended, he stayed too
Yes.
long and he got a lot of disrespect and a whole host
It
of other things.
happened.
Some leaders just stay too long. And here is Lisa Hanna saying, I've done my bit.
done my
You know,
bit.
I've
run
ran a
my
good
course,
race. Yeah.
And she and
yeah.
and
Fought a
they-
good fight.
and
Kept
made
the
a
faith.
great impression.
Yeah.
I mean, just the embodiment of grace
Yeah.
and elegance and fashion
Yeah.
and style.
Yeah.
You know, and really when you hear
Yeah.
young women in Jamaica speak about her, just somebody that they generally
Yeah.
found to be
Yeah.
inspirational.
As a matter of fact, as part of the polling we saw, as you say, leave on a high note,
Mhm.
is that she's consistently polled as one of the favorite politicians in
Very
Jamaica
down to
there.
earth, and
Yeah.
that's where she got that.
Mhm.
But while that's being said, the other side of that too is I won't say leaving too early, but I saw a colleague of mine. I wouldn't say where he was serving. He said, but he was in politics. He said he was retiring. This was about after 2 or something. I mean, you didn't do that yet.
Years?
You know, 2 or 3. I'm retiring from politics. Politics, they know you yet. You know,
Surface.
right? So I see some names there being thing for retirement. You know, Gail, Shera, Mansour, Nadir, Ben, Jack. Let me tell you one of the issues I got with Mansour Nadir, and I hold things a little bit here. The good book say I left, he gives the all to go back and right.
This is
Right?
personal to share.
So when you say talking to Mansour in National Assembly, make it right, it's make right here. It's make it right. So I was a young man, 97 elections, just getting my feet wet. Never saw a protest I didn't like. It was 97. Desmond Hoyt was still alive. 97? Yes, Janet Jagan, Desmond Hoyt. That was a rigged election that was end up officiating and all that.
Yes.
That was the election we had the secret swearing in of Janet Jagan.
The
writ being flung over the shoulder. Votes were still being counted in Region 4 when Janet was being sworn in. Right? Yes, same Jules Citizen Janet. That was happening. Votes were still being counted, among other things. And there was something else important happening at that time. Do Not Sing, who was the chief elections officer, no, not chief elections officer, chairman of GCOM, didn't even tell his colleague he had made a declaration. So they in one room at GCOM, and he in another room declaring. Same PPP, who want to talk about rigging. Right? Same PPP who like to talk about rigging. So all that is being happened. Mind you, much like I saw one a jail waxing about integrity and independence of office. Same man in jail who was bishop and was chairman of the Ethnic Relations Commission because of his bishopric. Same fellow who's now minister in PP government, Mr. Independence. At what time in that independence was the PP courting him to come over? At what point in being independent of mind and thought and all that? At what point? But I said it to say this. Do Not Sing. And they had a big song wrote about him. Rig Not used to call him. Who rigged the election? Folks, you gotta know your history, you know.
Yep.
And when these people come to lecture us about rigging, lecture us,
And they
rig
got-
not.
they got some serious
Why you rigged the
there.
election? I think that was Rebel or one of those guys, right? Do Not Sing ended up from chairman of GCOM to being Attorney General after the 1997 election for the PPP. Attorney General from chairman of GCOM. So you know they still got hope for Claudette to go into. Yeah, and Sammy Vinci the last she even if she come out, right? But I say I lose my trailer. So
You were telling us about Mansour.
we're there.
Yes.
I remember the spot I was Regent Street, just by what is we used to be this is now shift Chandra Paul Drive. What used to be called then? Right on that junction.
Market.
You know, Janet must go. Who must go? Janet must go. I don't how old I was. I was about 16, 17 now. Who must go? Now wetting your foot in politics. I meet this bastard, this scoundrel, this scamp. Nancy, my dear. Young man then, you know, much younger, from TUF. His office was just in the side street, shipped the Ryan Chandra Paul office on that side of Regent Street. TUF office is on the other side, opposite border. Used to be there. Saw this man and said, yes, he's a style. He in the thing with me. We in the struggle, you know. Yes, we ain't giving up. We ain't giving up. They must go. It's nonsense. 1 week later, the man is minister in PP government. 1 week later, Minister of Commerce, Trade, something.
You missed the good part. But what did he say to you when you saw him there?
The man shook my hands.
Come
And
on.
he
Yes.
said to you what?
Right? Something till I can't remember. You tell me, man.
The man shook his hand.
Shook my hands.
And the man said, we gotta fight them.
We got these jagabats. These jagabats. 1 week, we gotta fight them. Next week, Minister of Trade, Tourism, and Industry. That thing shook me as a young man. Right? Because you thought politics are principles. Shook me, scamp.
And this is what we don't talk about a lot as young entrants into the political arena. The level of disenchantment and disillusionment.
So you
that
can imagine,
go through.
when I see sitting up in the National Assembly, how I feel.
It's
I'm going to get that bottle of water and pelt him right up there and see he's a scamp. How can I ever get respect for he, a speaker or anybody else? Lie to me as a young man. No. Fight them. Sending you to battle, you know, and he's signing a paper saying, hey, coming over now. Scams and jagabats. Long now. You know, that thing disintegrated this party, you know.
Yeah.
Disintegrated that party. That party was never the same after that.
But
He
that's
must
just
even
when he's selfish and it.
can't remember a time when they had a party named
And
TUF.
you know,
So
but
deeply there in the thing.
Jared, I want to make a very important point, and this is why.
I still watch my every day thinking about it.
No, but you see, there has to be a place for respect for
Yeah.
people who stay true
Yeah.
to their struggle.
Yeah.
Let me be clear. There's nothing wrong with saying that I made a statement or a decision from a less informed place than I am now.
He's still informed, less informed.
But that level of treachery, it
Yeah.
turns a lot of people off of
Yeah.
politics.
Yeah.
And so you end up not having people who can really make a significant impact staying true to politics, because who able with all of the confusion and drama and just treachery. So I think as political leaders, we have a role to play in terms of modeling and inspiring our younger people who are coming after us to be interested in politics.
Yeah.
So I am so glad that you stuck the course, because if you didn't, I mean,
I know that's that's what I
that
say.
was the example for you, Chef.
That's what I say.
thank
You
you
know,
for sticking the course.
you gotta do what you gotta do. And he did what he gotta do, snake ears, and you know, Bible says don't get your reward already. You don't get it already. But it just says to us that really and truly you only got yourself to depend on, you know, honest to God. Because if you're looking for these guys who now come and say, oh, he's supposed to be some rectitude of some moral compass or some foolishness like that, him, look, I see that man, for who he is. And he ain't changed it, you know. So long for the TUF.
The what?
That being said, folks, that being said, I got some problems on the hand. We were talking about the what the taxis, you wanted to raise the fee by 60, and then the buses had already implemented something. Well, the government now seems to be catching up with everybody who raising prices because they've said now hiking both buses taxi fare will not be tolerated, or else what? Or else what?
That is the question.
Police have on every car now riding the buses and make sure you know that they don't raise the fare by 60 or how much ever they raise it, or else what? Right? Why don't tell it to the shop people and say, "Oh, we're pumping money in the economy. Don't raise the prices, or else what?"
No, but you see, and again, you see, tone is important. When Irfan Ali gave that big tax break to, you remember they had removed some of the taxes, the shipping and freight costs on certain commodities. The big guys did not pass those savings.
Even though he was begging them.
No, he begged.
Yeah.
But you know, this is told we're not going to tolerate.
Yeah.
And this is to the small man that is trying to eke out a living honestly.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna beg my rich friends to put down to pass down the benefits. But here you are.
And if nothing happens, no big thing.
Yeah. And here you go, but we will not tolerate it.
Yeah.
It's contemptuous.
Yeah.
It's contemptuous.
Correct.
They just have no regard for hardworking Guyanese. None.
Yeah. Following that too, yesterday in court, we went to court on the issue of the 8 members of parliament, yours truly included, being suspended from the national without pay. Same Jacobin business, same fella. TUF, same fellow, right? Shook my hand like to me, now he's suspended from parliament. Same fellow, same fellow, right? But the matter has now been pushed down. The status quo remains with the parliamentarians being suspended, but the matter has now been pushed down to November 1. We spoke about that extensively last evening on In the Ring. So if you want more on that, refer to the program. It's right on our page. Refer to that.
Yes.
Right? We went through all of the minutiae of the case and our thoughts on how the magistrate proceeded on that. So you can refer to our program last time. But we wanted to let you know that it's still on our radar. It's still on our radar.
Really, really good.
Yeah, and we want to thank both senior counsel Ford, Royce Hill Ford, and also Selwyn Peters out of Canada, international lawyer. They've been on the forefront of lots of these cases, pushing back. And
and I've been winning.
Have been winning. And Anil, I don't know. Here he's fighting for leadership in the party now because there's a feeling that Irfan can run.
Complaining that government getting sued every day.
Yeah, crying out and so on. But he won't lead the party. We hear he's one of the top contenders because they said, they justified now with Irfan being unsuited for candidate. They gave it 2 years and they see, it's like we helping them in a kind of a way. When they say Irfan, it's what he's done or not done says he should not be president again or running for re-election. So they got some internal battles that they're going through there.
Wow, interesting.
Right? And then Frank, we heard too, is very worried because Frank was one of the biggest vote getter in the internal Congress. And then look where he is now in his position. People come over here and one it seems to get a higher profile than him really. I don't know if it's Frank's general style. His general style, like he's he carries that kind of demeanor. I don't know.
A little more on the stage than the others, but,
I don't know. Look a little mukish to me. Understated. That's how you put it.
What would be interesting? It would be interesting to have a very open, to witness very openly the PUB internal elections and how that actually pan out. Because I have to say that when it comes to persons like the head of GAU, for example, it has been rumored that he probably gets more vote than Irfan Ali.
Everybody gets more vote than Irfan Ali. Right? To go along with Jagdio foolishness. There's part one this movie with Ramatar. To go along with that, you need a mook. You understand me? A sensible person like Anil would not go along with the foolishness. Anil is his own person. The man has a brain. You can tell that. He win a lot of things now, but he's made a name for himself. Anil Nandalal, he would not go along with this foolishness.
But he did have the books.
Right? So he made some use of it. At least you could do.
To the contrary.
No, You know,
On the
but
side,
you
yep.
went through law school. Well, Ibar, take notes. All right, bad example, bad example,
And you know
bad
what?
example.
Let me move on.
Moving on, moving on,
Let
moving
me
on,
move on. Let me
moving
Before we
on.
go further,
Right? Yeah,
Lysis Mingo
yeah,
Born would like to have her photographs that you have. Please text the woman and send the
yeah.
photos.
Photograph from at the
Oh.
rally. Yes, yes.
Glycis, don't worry.
Like,
Yeah.
I got you.
sorry.
I
Guys, this
got you.
was the medium height,
Yes, no, I know why I said
um,
Mingo March had her hair up in a puff.
well covered.
Yes.
Medium height.
I beg your pardon. Yes, like
Yeah,
sis.
you are short.
well covered. Folks, for the big issue this morning, as you guys are here, people don't care. We got some stories we can cover. That says that. They just don't
But
care. They
it's
don't
a prayer that
care.
said because we care.
No, no,
That's not it.
no. She shook her down when
Because
she
we
said it.
care. Is this not it?
No, no, it's not enough for sure. It's not enough. The big
Because
issue,
we care, we're
everybody's
going to
okay.
make sure that we all not only miss the target of the inflation rate by the end of the year, but we're going to but we're going to guarantee you that it's going to be more than double that than what we projected. That's how
Yeah.
they care.
Yeah, and you know, it's going to be terrible economic times for people, you know. Folks, I tell you this, but I don't even know how to advise you because I'm not a finance person. And they say money in the bank, especially in this inflation time, could matter less. But how do you invest? What do you invest in and all that to get a return to brace you in these economic times? God be with us.
Sharon, you're
God with
absolutely
us.
right. This is what, as I was driving coming down here, my heart was just so heavy
Yeah.
because there are things coming down the pipeline
Yeah.
globally that this government is doing nothing.
Yeah.
They're not helping Guyanese
Yeah.
now. Are you following what's happening in the Netherlands with the farmers?
Mm.
The second largest food producing nation.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
little place.
Yeah. You can't look to them.
And
Yeah.
the farmers are now out protesting,
Yeah.
which means that
Yeah.
food production is going to be severely affected. And you know the ripple and the trickle down effects
Yeah.
when that is interrupted. We saw it when COVID interrupted the logistics and supply chain. There are going to be spin-offs, and this government is doing absolutely nothing
Yeah.
to help our people.
Correct.
Every day that a child starves now is a day too long. They're going to wait, and this is why we got to keep saying to Guyanese, we got to wake up and wise up.
Yeah.
They're going to come a year before they want to call elections and start doling out money. But stop to think that this morning, that money is not going to matter to a mother who can't feed her children today.
All I said is in the day when you think about it, what do I do is
How are we feeding our children today?
yeah.
But the PPPC, I think they are misjudging the people of Guyana every day. The people of Guyana are going to remember that in our times that we needed it the most, when plantain was $300 a pound and I couldn't feed my children 3 square meals a day, you were spending the money on roads and bridges instead of reallocating to help me
and
feed
so on,
my children.
5,000 US shoes and 10,000 US bag and so forth.
God, sure, there is more than enough for everybody. Guyanese do not have to be suffering the way we are suffering right now.
It's a worldview. I don't even want to say in the party, but you know who leads matters, and how and your thinking, your outlook. If you have a limiting scarcity mindset, that's how you're going to operate. You know, you've been in situations. I've been in situations as a company where folks say, when I come, I used to walk and think you got to walk too, right? And you got the resources and power management and so on. And you know, people say, you know, when I was an office boy, I never had bicycles, so the office boy got to walk. If you know that kind of foolishness.
Because your construct is that because I suffer, you must suffer. And it's not
limiting
about not suffering, it is about as human beings, we have a duty to better the species.
But how much suffering you're suffering is coronavirus and all these strains, is monkeypox. I got a new one, I can't even remember the name now. How much more suffering you can suffer in this, right? Because all that we following though, right?
It really is amazing what's happening now.
But you're talking about suffering. Look, story. Them boys say they care. You know. Remember we talk about the Chinese landing issue. The Chinese landing issue. Well, the minister responsible for the Indigenous Affairs. She said, we've done all we can on Chinese landing.
Oh,
And
I
it's,
see.
it's very, very strange how they set this one up, because they install a Tushao there at the NTC, the National Tushao Council, that they can control and manipulate. But they don't seem to be getting their ducks in a row, because here's the minister saying, we have done all we can on the Chinese landing issue.
To assist Chinese landing, and
Right.
if that's being quoted correctly, and then the minister should simply just get a pen and start penning the resignation letter.
Yeah, they've done all they can. And the international body spoke to this matter, and they said they've done it with all the resources that they got. Right? They said that the miners there squatting on the indigenous people land is bigger than the government and so on. But more than that, I want to get my notes right. The new head for the National Two Showers Council, he has come out to say that the Chinese landing Tushao should write the NTC requesting intervention. But if the government can't do nothing, what you gonna do? Right? And what is worse, hold on. They had promised to send in a team to see what's happening there. Listen what they say. Heritage Month celebrations is delaying the visit. People having their human rights, according to the international agency that handed down the decision Chinese landing, violated human rights abuses in there, right? And the National Truth Service Council says, what better way to celebrate Indigenous Heritage Month than to go in there and to fix the Indigenous people problem? They say the celebrations delaying the visit. I've never so the celebration will end at the end of September. You telling me it's in October?
Let me remind persons of what is going on at Chinese
Yeah.
landing.
Tell them.
When we know the situation, the major issue we have is the human rights violation. We have persons going into the communities without permission from the village and the representatives of the village for them to actually access the issues that are facing right now in Chinese landing. Is the bullyism. The fact that you have persons walking around an indigenous village with
Mining their lands,
with high power rifle, trying to instill fear and
mining their lands,
on a daily basis.
taking out the wealth for themselves, and not giving the people any. And Pauline Sukai says,
They do all they can.
they've done all they can.
From
From the people who care.
how do you tell people that you've done all you can? So the people, we can't stop people from walking around and intimidating you with high power rifle. We've done all we can.
Yeah. And then the
Resign.
head for the
Resign.
Tushao Council, who should be looking over their interests, he looking over the government interests. He said these celebrations for Heritage Month prevent them from going in. Because he asking you apparently to go to the Sahara Desert. Right? You're not asking if you go a couple miles right in your own country. Right? Go and then celebrate with the people in the midst. So while you're out here celebrating, they must enjoy the misery. Wow, and we care. We care. Them boys don't care. So that's one of the issues we're looking at. And the other one, folks, we pointed out lots of the issues that fall under here. Little Kanubali, Chinese landing. Esenru has almost the identical issue. Marudi community deep south got almost the identical issue. The lands being mined without the prior and informed consent. That's what the international body said. Free prior and informed consent. Wiki Kalkuni, Hururu. People said they care.
PP gave out the lands. People
Right.
gave away the lands.
Yes.
That's what happened. Let's call it out what it is. This matter has been ongoing.
And this is what we were talking about when I was on the show the last
A
time.
cease order was given under the AP and UAFC administration.
There you
that
go.
particular area.
There you
go.
But they can't come and say,
There
what did
you
you
go.
do? We
Them boys
fought
say-
There
for
you
the
go.
rights of the people.
Because you title the lands, they are indigenous lands, and therefore there's a whole legal framework.
Yeah.
So to hear Pauline Sukai say that they can't do anything is amazing to me.
And the international body, the UN, I think, Commission on Human Rights and all that, said that the American Act of itself needs to be revised.
It has to be
Why not
revised.
come before Parliament yet?
It has to be
Huh?
revised.
Oh,
It has to be revised.
all right.
The truth is that
Right.
they don't care about the indigenous.
They don't care. Think
Pauline
about
told
that.
the
About
people, Pauline told the people that she speak on their behalf in national. I cannot remember Pauline ever
Yes.
opening her
Yeah,
mouth
yeah,
in
yeah,
national.
yeah.
I mean, if you cannot accord the people
alien to waiting
the
them.
preferable name of referring to them as indigenous people,
Yeah.
That's exactly what it
then
is.
you understand how deep the contempt is.
Yeah. But again, guys, the folks that said they care. This you know, former Prime Minister, former Lord Mayor of Georgetown, Hampton Green, he wrote to the press today saying that various statements relating to Gaisuka are serious enough to warrant a full-scale investigation. You know, but the Minister of Agriculture, that's just internal squabbling. You know, the president can meet with them when he got the time, but Gaisuka has to go ahead and do what it has to do. It's mind-boggling. A man from your board says corruption and same old. I was trying to find his exact words, but it's all in keeping with corruption and so on happening there. Them knowing that this particular tractor they're trying to buy, other issues, the game tractor is not suited for Gaisuko. The John Deere is a better tractor, and them, you know, full steam ahead moving without the consent of the board. He said it's just personalities. Mustafa, right? Mustafa who handing out the trial license, and we still don't know who and friends, family, favorites, who got.
And
right?
can't fix the fish
Right.
folk in the
Right.
in the quarantine issue.
And again, the sugar workers themselves say it is the management of Gaisuko that is poor and got the corporation how it is. Mustafa disagrees with them. He said, no. Let Gaisuko go ahead and do what they got to do. Hampton Green says there's enough for a serious, that warrants a full-scale investigation.
And look, there was enough from Sue to warrant a full investigation, and we don't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
So you have a group of people that they're just inimical to order and government and law and order and so on.
And then
they are just
inimical to law and order. Stick a pin right there, man. Inimical to law and order. Them boys in the oil and gas sector, led by Barjalio, they were vehement. There were no insurance talks between APNU and Exxon, none whatsoever. And now a letter has emerged out of thin air showing comprehensively and conclusively there were talks happening at the time. Them boys gone quiet. They lied. That's the point I want to make. Lied to this nation knowingly.
But that is
both Exxon and the government.
But this is what the PPP's
Right.
modus operandi
Both.
is. They continue to lie.
Yep.
And they continue to get away with
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
because it is almost as if, we love being lied to, I suppose. I don't know. But the PPP has to be held accountable. And they have to be held accountable by the Guyanese people as a whole. This lack of governance is just, it's not leading anywhere. It leads to nothing productive. And we are setting up our future generations for failure. I was thinking this morning about the Natural Resource Fund. And the fact that we're drawing everything out of it when that was intended to be a safeguard.
Yeah. For future generations.
Like, what are we leaving our children?
And them boys know they're going just on the NK.
Oh, man.
They know it's either the smallpox can carry them, is the Langia, whatever the other new virus is COVID or something. They worry.
And
They
so
were by the time now.
the letter is now very public.
Yeah. That's saying these talks did happen, and they swore, AFC, they do nothing. They were never in these talks. No, and you know what? I always ask myself when things like this happen, how much don't I know? Because ExxonMobil knew because there was their people involved in it, and they've been going along with this lie with this administration, right? But again, they're not interested in you and I and anybody in this country well-being. Once they dig we out and they go with the business and their business prosper.
Where could the members of the public find this letter?
It's published in today's Kaitro News. Yep. About these talks that never happened. Costs were never quoted and so on. Never, right? And Henson and the others from ExxonMobil went out from there and no, it never happened. Big pushback. We're looking to see now. They probably dug and jog them and say, yeah, I now remember.
The people of Guyana deserve
the folks that care.
No, but,
That need the investigation too.
Let me say this. When it comes to the oil industry, you have to have partners in development. We do not have the capacity to manage and exploit those resources. But it has to be that the people of Guyana get a proper return. Because it is our patrimony. And so there is nothing wrong with calling for accountability. Because as partners, you have to be accountable one to
Mhm.
the other.
So is it
So
what's the name of the Auditor General? Deodat Sharma?
Sharma,
Is he gonna go in and investigate?
I
You
doubt
know,
it
is he
very
gonna?
much. I doubt it
Is the
very much.
EPA gonna go and see what happened here? No.
Well, look, I
So,
mean, the EPA has proven that they are incompetent.
mhm,
You, and it's from the minister down.
mhm.
You have a minister that celebrates the fact that they're collecting money for flaring
Yeah,
and citing
yeah,
what is called the polluter
yeah.
pays principle
Another one says that if any Exxon is doing anything, it's chasing the fish into the nets.
into the net.
Oh
I
wow,
mean, it
that's
is
what we don't know.
it's mind-boggling.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we have to
yeah.
we have to continue to
We got a
bring the
buggle
truth
back.
to the people. You see this?
It's just folks. It's
No.
coping. It's
Yes,
trying to cope.
yes. But
If not,
it's serious. It's
yeah,
very, very
it
serious.
is. It is.
And the Ali administration continues to kick the
Mm.
ball down the road. And
Yeah, yeah,
the beautiful thing about these things is that they're now available on the internet. And
yeah,
years from now, we will be able to look back
yeah,
and to see that what we were
yeah,
saying. I mean, it's not even taking years.
Yeah. I
You
was
talk
just
about
about
the
to say
cash
that.
grant, like every day you see what
yeah.
we are
Doesn't
saying
take
coming
long.
to pass.
Doesn't take
Look at
long.
the sugar industry.
Yeah, yeah,
Look at the oil and
yeah.
gas contract that they would have renegotiated.
Mm-hmm.
It is very, very, very apparent to me that the PPP cannot govern.
Yep,
Cannot
yep.
govern.
And why I'm thinking they calling the date for election, local or otherwise. The thing they will do, Martin calls a snap.
Well, we have
Well,
to clean the
they can
list.
snap with the snap.
We have to clean the voters list.
Yeah,
Ali seems to
yeah.
be the only person that does not want to recognize that there's need for a voters list.
Mm-hmm.
All of the observer reports that they relied on
Mm-hmm. Told them that.
in their defense of
Yeah,
democracy
yeah,
said the first order of business is to get a
yeah.
new voters
But why would
list.
you want to clean the list that
No, but
installed
Ali
him?
just
there you
realized.
Installed him.
go.
Listen,
There
Ali
you
just woke
go.
up,
Yeah.
right? But what is happening now?
After
Is
he
no.
went
What
to the
is happening
cemetery?
now is that you gotta realize that Ali just realized how he became president.
Yeah, yeah,
He just realized that
Yeah.
He probably looked at our documentary, Theft of Democracy.
yeah.
he just
Realized.
realized he
Yeah,
was just informed. He had probably had a briefing session or something,
Yeah.
and he's like had this aha moment. He's like, no, we can't go cleaning this list.
The,
What?
the question has to be, what are they afraid of? What are they afraid of? If you got the numbers, clean the list, get the dead
Yeah.
people off the list,
The list must
get
be
the
clean.
migrants off the list, and run an election. You
Yeah.
are the
Correct.
bastion of democracy.
Correct. Transparency, good
Right? The other
governance.
people are the
Yep.
riggers,
Yep.
and so on. A bloated list only aids those who are interested in rigging. So why is Ali opposed now
Why are you
to a
frightened?
new list?
Why are you
What are
frightened?
they afraid
Why are you
of?
frightened?
What are they afraid of?
We shall
You don't
discuss
want
the
the
rest.
petition to be heard. You know,
Share
We
this
shall
right
dis-
one
wrap up.
whole program
We can
Let's
discuss
start-
we
the
have
rest
to have for that.
Yes,
below the belt.
we will discuss the rest below the belt.
Below the belt.
Below the belt.
But
Or in, yeah.
I will
And
have
in the
my
ring.
final word on this.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
would like it or not.
Yeah.
I will have
You
a
get to
final
bully
word
this
on this.
boy.
Just occurred to me.
I'm bullying him
It's a courage to be.
because the
I
problem
shake your hand
is
after
with the
this.
list. And remember this. The problem is with the list. They don't want the list to be cleansed because with that bloated list, their strongholds are reporting over 90% voter turnout to the polls.
Oh yes, I see.
You
Yeah.
understand,
A
right?
statistical
Impossible.
improbability.
Yeah, yeah. Folks, while we go, I am on my last sugar like this home. I haven't been to the shoppers yet to see what happened with the prices.
You're scared.
I know we were talking earlier about how hard it is in this country. When me gonna buy to turn to? Let's often. I hear my cry, Father. Tend unto my prayer. From the ends of the earth. I want you all to know last night, one of our viewers from overseas sent me 2 packs. When I bust it back. Granulated sugar. Lord don't come.
He said,
Send.
Amen.
It's foreign. Sugar is
Thank
surviving
you,
on
Father.
Sharon.
Foreign, granulated too.
Congratulated.
It's fine like dust. Right?
No, but
Thank
but,
you.
but we got an issue. And,
Yeah.
and we are here as
Yeah.
MPs
Yeah.
bringing you information, but we also need the support of the people. They're 31 MPs,
Yeah.
right? They're
Mhm.
31 MPs.
Mhm.
And so for it to become a movement,
Yeah.
people have to
Yeah.
understand what is at stake and be willing
Yeah.
to step up. All the people of Guyana deserve they deserve good government.
Yeah.
They deserve transparent government. They deserve a government that cares.
Yeah.
And I think given the APNU AFC 5 years without oil money,
Mhm.
and these last 2 years of the PPP with all of these
Mhm.
resources,
And the economy
there
tanking.
cannot be a question who is the government that cared most about
Correct.
the ordinary working class Guyanese.
Correct. This is what it is.
Have a good day, y'all.
That's our time, folks.
Have a lovely.
See you guys
lovely
back
day.
at 12 below the belt. Smash that emoji button for us. I'm answering this. Listen to you more, man. Share the live.
Share the live. Informed
Yeah,
citizens
yeah,
make
yeah.
informed decisions.
Partner with us as
Let's
well,
get
folks.
let's get the information out. And to say the people, like I didn't see Lacho this
Yeah,
morning.
I heard people referring to Lacho, which
Yeah,
means
please
Lacho.
send a SOS out for
Yeah,
Lacho.
we
Lacho, we
concerned.
missed you.
Got some sugar for Lacho.
You know, and Paul and
Sugar.
so on, they didn't come on this
Yeah.
morning. Come, you all
Yeah.
are a part of. You know, that always got a set in
Yeah.
every family.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah. The
always
black
set
sheep.
in the family.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you know,
Nobody wants to run,
send
but
a-
you can't divorce
send
them.
a SOS out
I
to us, guys.
call you know.
We hope they join
Yeah.
us tomorrow
And
morning. so
Leon,
that
Leon
they can get,
too.
yeah,
I
go
know.
Britain.
Yeah.
They
Maybe
got
they're having a
shift.
meeting this morning.
They're working shifts.
So they're either gonna resign, retire, or they're redoubling
Anyway,
efforts.
you
One
all
of the two.
send out
Yeah.
an SOS for them. You know they're
Yeah.
a part of our FYI family. Make sure that they're okay and let
Yeah.
them tune in tomorrow to get more valid and credible information.
Yeah.
So guys, go out there, make it a great day, and we will see you back here at 12.